welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is a message for anyone who needs to hear it. And I've dealt the cards already because Mercury's retrograde, so we've tried to record this video before and it's the second time. So the cards are all on the table already. This theme of this reading is should I stay or should I go? Okay, that's very quickly emerged as soon as I put the cards out. The overall energy card we've got is the Nine of Swords. Make no mistake, okay, October and some of November is going to be tricky energy. When Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio, all of our insecurities, our shadow side, and our defensiveness comes along and gets raised, okay? It feels like, I think, or it will feel like we're being attacked or we need to attack someone else. I don't literally mean attack, but that feeling that sometimes, you know, the feeling that you're being kind of psychically attacked or that so-and-so's got it in for you, or even, you know, your friends, family, whatever your relationships, close personal relationships, that you might want to dig and investigate about somebody, or you feel like they're digging or investigating about you. That's a difficult energy to have. It's a difficult energy to manage. And I think some of us are going to be prodded and pulled into thinking, should I stay in this or should I go? You know, it's that very kind of binary option. Do this, do that. Nine of Swords is telling us that we're going to feel quite up in our head about this. This is about ruminating. It's about taking some kind of idea or concept that, quite honestly, for me, I feel is going to contain jealousy or insecurity or not being good enough or any of that shadow stuff, any of that ugly kind of stuff that you just don't want to even admit that makes you feel defensive. I feel like that stuff you're going to try, your brain is going to try in this Mercury retrograde to make up stories. And then when those stories are good, I mean, we're such good storytellers at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, it's like, I'm right, this is it. And then we don't come up with a solution. It just goes round and round and round. But we form this perfect story, okay? We form a perfect storm of what's happening. The danger, I feel, is that the energy at the moment is very retrograde. And for me, it's like a hall of mirrors. Some of what you're thinking is true, and some of it is distorted. And I'd be very surprised at this point in Mercury retrograde if you can tell the difference. Okay, so what else have we got? The moon. Look at that big fat full moon. I love this card. But Neptune. Neptune is about advertising, makeup lighting, mirrors, beautiful lights, glass, reflective things, okay? It rules Pisces. The moon is the card for Pisces. If you think about the colours of fish, okay, you can't capture the colour of a fish. It changes according to the fish. I'm now going to do an impression of a fish swimming. I am a triple Pisces, okay? I may be qualified for this, or I may not. So, you know, when you see the shoal and it goes like this, and there's all this glinting rainbow of different colours, okay? You can't pin down the colour of a fish. This message is to say, see if during this time to do with probably a relationship with somebody or a job that you have or a situation, okay, which however it pans out for you, you will know. See if you can find the depth to be able to know what you are accountable for and know where you begin and the situation ends. For example, you may be too close to a person to actually be able to discern what's going on. There's a lot of confusion in this. There's definitely a lot of confusion. We have the Two of Cups. Venus in Cancer, an exchange of cups, this exchange. I'm drawn to the fact there are dark clouds behind this, okay? This is a union card. It's a beautiful card. Two people in an equal partnership exchange cups. It's a love card. There's obviously a lot of bonding and love and feelings for a person or a situation or a job or whatever it is. But at the same time, there's this, it's like we're constantly holding a mirror to this saying, can we trust this? Can I trust them? Are they who they say they are? Are there many faces in this mirror? Okay. It's a really strange message. And then we also have the Eight of Cups, walking away from something that you love. There is this constant feeling of wanting to flee is what I'm getting. Because if you look, we've got the Eight of Cups with the Six of Swords. These two cards are cards of moving away from something, of fleeing something, okay, of making an escape. They're off, you know, it's like, cheers, I'm off ski, okay? Not even see you later, just cheers, I'm off ski. Now, should I stay or should I go? I feel like it's going to become apparent over the next sort of 3.5 to 4 weeks. We also got, and I've been pulling this card a lot recently, the Wheel of Fortune. There is a certain amount of destiny at play, okay? There is also in the middle of this reading what I would call a bit of an anchor. I've got the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is someone who is reliable. You can rely on them. I think what's going to come up over the next few weeks or the next month during this Mercury retrograde, because it's retrograde in Scorpio and then it moves into Libra on the 28th of October, which for me means that for 2 weeks you're digging and digging and digging and researching and looking and observing and watching. And then we've got it moving into Libra, which for me kind of brings that together more in trying to find harmony with that, okay? Instead of thinking, should I stay or should I go? And believe me, there's going to be some times where you're like really, really caught up with that. Should I stay? Should I go? I don't know what to do. I would see this as more of a process of moving closer or moving further away, but it's slow, okay? And I would also say that there are many sides to this. There are many angles, if you look at it in terms of photography, there's many angles that you could see it from. And in order to be able to see this situation from a place of truth, you would need to be able to sink very much into yourself, okay? Recently in the daily readings, the High Priestess has come up all the time. The High Priestess is, she's very ethereal. She is a female, the feminine magician. She is immovable in that she's very much rooted where she is, but also she utterly changes. She's a Piscean reference, again, like the moon. She is moon orientated, so she's phasic. This is difficult. Mercury is retrograde. It requires you to do contradictory things, okay? To stay still and to move at the same time. To be rooted in your authenticity, but also flexible enough to deal with the plurality of the universe such as it is, okay? When I say the plurality of the universe, I mean the craziness. I'm just being polite. Okay. What else are we going to take? I'm going to take a couple of El Goliath tarot cards and let's have a looky-see. Do check out in the description box. There's quite a lot going on the channel at the moment. We've got pick a card readings that are new. We've got random messages. We've got the dailies and we've got the monthly astrological readings. So have a look at those. My Instagram is there as well if you want to see what I'm doing on Instagram. I've just got such an itchy nose. Right, this is the El Goliath shadow deck. Ah, God, this has come up so much in our random messages. This totally... These cards are really big. Okay, wow. Oh my God. Yeah, we totally get this. I don't believe it, honestly. That's come up so much as well. The Nine of Swords. So we have another Nine of Swords, okay? This is shadow energy. Now, it's very important to get to the bottom of your shadow work and to see the very kind of base of where you're coming from. But sometimes when you get the Nine of Swords, because the swords, have you noticed the swords are always high in the Nine of Swords, okay? Because they're always up in your head, okay? What we're trying to do here, and what happens when you get the Ten of Swords, is you get a figure where all the swords are stuck in his back. Woof, they've come down. That's why the 10 is more satisfying than the 9, because at least you know what they are, the wounds are all there and you can heal them. When they're all up here, it's got this ethereal kind of floaty quality where it can go round and round in your head and it doesn't really land and it can't be healed. So I think our job here, during Mercury retrograde, in whatever situation you're in, romantic relationship, life in general, whatever it is to bring the swords down, okay? And then to deal with the feeling of it. We get in the El Goliath, the Shaman. Now, I am no practitioner of shamanic magic or shamanism, or, I don't pretend to know much about it at all. I can tell you what I do know, okay, is that I know it when I see it, and I know it when I feel it, and this is shamanic, okay? That's all I can say to you, because some of you out there, many of you out there, will know what you're doing with shamanic work, okay? And I don't. I am still probably yet is the right word, to learn what that truly means. But I'm just signalling to you that this is deeply shamanic, okay? Scorpio and shamanism. Wow. Oh my God. The shadow dream catcher. Now, this is like putting out your shadow dream catcher, okay? And being prepared compassionately to support what comes into it, what you catch, rather than being the logician and trying to work it out, okay? Trying to work it out with your head, making a pros and cons list, talking to all your friends constantly in a loop. You will find that the energy of when you talk about this and when you think about it is deeply repetitive. Instead of being useful to you or healthy, it will feel loopy and obsessive. Okay, that is the shadow side of Scorpio, okay? We get here the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is a card of harsh truth. You may find during this time that people deal with you quite harshly, or that you are inclined to be harsh with others, okay? That doesn't mean you have to do that. It doesn't mean you have to tolerate it. I'm just saying it's out there, okay? Sometimes when we are in difficult energy, and this is difficult energy, this Mercury retrograde, we can attract other people's difficult energy towards us to kind of trigger our own, and it just makes a storm of difficult energy. So if you are needing to have a talk with somebody, especially considering we have a full moon on Halloween on the 31st, if you are considering having a talk with somebody, just be aware that it will probably be deep and it could be accusatory. It could go into the blame game, okay? If you can manage where you begin and they end and be very firmly within your own boundaries, that would be great, okay? We've got the Seven of Wands, the need to be boundaried, okay? We need boundaries around this because it would be very easy to get lost in the actions of the other person, and I don't know if that will help you. And then we get the Death card. Of course we do. Scorpionic energy. This is the Scorpio card. This is transition and rebirth and the entire shake-up of a situation from the very foundation up, okay? And then finally here, the King of Wands, the divine masculine. These antlers for me represent divine masculine, but I'm also noticing the dream catcher in the middle. Okay, so Dream catchers are very significant. Doesn't mean you have to rush out and buy a dream catcher, because to me, they're only symbolic anyway, okay? You can just invite your own if you want to. Let's have a look at Brian and Wendy Frood, Heart of the Fairy Oracle. Ha! Okay. I'm pretty sure that came up in the last reading that we did. I've been doing quite a lot of these readings where I'm just inclined to do a message and then I do it. Yeah, wow, okay. There's some quite specific information in this bit, so this may not apply to everybody, but just see if it applies to you. Not that one, but that one. Yeah. We get the Thief. This, you need to be careful with this card. This is about somebody stealing your time and energy, okay? Now, whether they are or whether they're not is a process of observation, particularly during the first half of October. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. But for some of you, there is an energy of someone pulling at your energy. Somebody, I think they call it an energy thief, don't they? And not for no reason. Okay. We also have this Lady of Leprechauns, and this is a false prophet. So she's got the crystal ball and she's got the mask, and there is a sense with the Lady of Leprechauns of a false reading. This can be doing too much tarot for yourself. You know, when you keep reading for yourself and you're over reading and you can feel it. It can also be that there is someone else involved who is advising you who is not necessarily to be trusted, okay? It could be a friend who is fueling your insecurities. Just be aware of that. And then we get the Lady of Song, and the Lady of Song is about singing your own song, your own tune. For some of you, you may be singers, or you may sing about this situation, or there is something to do with singing involved with this. The Lady of Song is very authentic, and the Lady of Leprechauns is not, okay? And then we get what I call the Eight of Mushrooms. Mushrooms grow in the dark. There are secrets throughout this Mercury retrograde period which are latent, okay? You may not be able to access these secrets or this information in the normal way, such as your headspace, your logic, your investigation, your words, communication, talking. The normal stuff that you would do if you wanted to find something out might be off the menu, okay? Remember the shadow dream catcher. It's much deeper. It's asking for 5D information and then relaxing about it and just feeling as if you can capture it, interpret it like the High Priestess, and process it, okay? And the Fairy of Growth. This is a growth process. All of this is a growth process. We have different kind of ports of call, such as the full moon on the 31st. We then have a lunar eclipse on the 30th. And we also have a new moon in Scorpio on the 15th of November, I think, around then anyway. I'm going to double check that in my moon diary. All of these ports of call are important. Remember also, I think we had a full moon in Scorpio on the 7th of May this year, so think back to then, and also back to October 2019 when we also had Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, I think, and lots of other planets in Scorpio. I'm not an astrologer, I'm just giving you some ports of call, okay? What do we want? We want... Let's have an oracle card. I'm going to have a Whispers of Love oracle card as well as one of these. Oh, that's nice. We get peace. You are making an uneasy peace with this situation. It's not a sweet peace, okay? You know, you think of peace, you're like, yeah, it's going to be peaceful and lovely and woohoo. No, sometimes peace has to be found in the storm, okay? Like, I am in a storm. The stuff is all going on around me, but actually I can take the waves and I can feel okay. Interesting. I want 2 of those actually, and I want, God, I might need 3. Whispers of Love Oracle cards. Choose love. Interesting. Think of that as the lighthouse, okay? In the storm. Choose love. Back to what you love. Your current situation is causing you to reevaluate, Mercury retrograde, what or who you love. True love. This is the love of a lifetime. Crumbs. Definitely leave me some comments about this reading. It's really interesting to see what you get from it and how you resonate with it, okay? Let's have a healing with the angels oracle card. You're right there, Valentine. You like that, don't you, sweetheart? You like a shuffle. Hi. Hi, honey pot. That came up in the shuffle, actually. Okay, we get enchantment. Within this maelstrom, make sure you keep looking for things to spur your love energy, okay? Just things that you love. Can be anything, like the nice shape of, God, I'm trying to think now, a decent apple, you know, or a gorgeous tree, or your lovely cat, or nice pair of earrings. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? Just call to attention things that you love. Trust. This is having faith in the process while you're in the middle of the storm, okay? And emerging. This is a process of growth. It's in the shadow of it, okay? But you are and will emerge. Probably it's going to be into December by the time that happens, okay? Just for maybe 1 or 2 people, I also pulled children, and I just wanted to say that. I don't really know why, but I need to say it because someone needs to hear that message. Okay, there is your message. Please leave me a comment and do subscribe to the channel for other random messages and stuff. And I will see you soon. Namaste.